Victoria stood at the back of the Soul funeral home in her black suit. The incense was thick. She could taste it. 14 hours on a plane for this. To honour Choi Man-dae, the man who took her in, taught her everything. His family wouldn't look at her. The widow sat in front. Her adoptive mother. Her son, next to her as they whispered, glanced back. Victoria knew what they were saying. She'd heard it her whole life. The black girl, too curvy, too different, too much. The service ended. People moved towards the reception. Victoria stayed where she was. Her suit jacket hugged her hips. Full-figured in a family that prized being small. She'd never fit their mould. Never would. She'd say goodbye and leave. "You shouldn't have come, Soo-yoon," the nephew, Jin-woo said. Her Korean name sounded like an insult in his mouth. "I came to honour him. He's dead all right. Stop pretending that you belong. It's tiring." His smile was ugly. His eyes moved over her, taking in her curves, every inch that didn't fit. "You were never really one of us." Victoria's jaw locked. More family came over, circling her like sharks. "This is inappropriate," the aunt said, her eyes on Victoria's body, judging. "You being here. This is for family." The words landed exactly how they were meant to. Victoria felt them in her chest. "I was his daughter. You were his charity case." Mrs. Choi's voice cut through. She stood, walked over in her black hanbok. Perfect, thin, cold. This woman had braided Victoria's hair when she was little, taught her to make kimchi, called her daughter. Once. Victoria's throat closed. "That's a lie. He loved me. He pitied you." Mrs. Choi's eyes were empty. "I tolerated you because he asked. He's gone now. You have no claim here. You're not a Choi. You never were." Victoria looked at them. Every face. The aunt, the cousins, the nephew, the widow. They saw what they wanted to see. A black woman, thick, curvy, someone who didn't belong in their perfect Korean family photo. Something in her chest broke. "I came to honour a man who saw something in me when no one else did." Victoria looked at Mrs. Choi, at the woman who used to be her mother, to say goodbye to my father. "I don't need your estate." She turned toward the door. "Wait!" Victoria stopped, didn't turn. "You were never my daughter," Mrs. Choi said. "Don't call yourself that again." Victoria's hand gripped the door handle. The metal cut into her palm. Then Mrs. Choi said it, quieter, crueler. "He would have been ashamed of what you've become." Victoria's breath stopped. She turned back, looked Mrs. Choi in the eyes. "No," Victoria said. "He taught me to survive, to build, to never apologise for taking up space. You can try to erase me from this family, but you can't erase what he gave me, and you can't take away what I built." She walked out. Outside, the rain had stopped. Seoul was wet and shining. Victoria stood on the steps alone. The incense clung to her clothes, her skin. Her throat burned, her eyes burned. She let herself feel it, all of it. She got to her car, sat inside. Her hands were shaking too hard to start it. A memory hit. She was 12, in the kitchen with Man-dae. He was teaching her to cut vegetables, his hands over hers, guiding the knife. "Soo-yoon," he'd said. "You're Korean now, but don't forget where you came from. Both parts of you matter. Both parts make you strong." She'd asked him why his family didn't like her. He'd been quiet, long enough that she thought he wouldn't answer. Then, "Some people are afraid of what's different. That's their weakness, not yours. You remember that. Always remember that." Victoria started the car. Her eyes were wet, but she didn't wipe them. He'd given her a name, an identity, a chance. His family could try to take it away. They couldn't erase what he'd built in her. She straightened her tie and drove away. She was done begging to belong. The flight back felt endless. Victoria sat in business class, staring at nothing. Other passengers slept. She couldn't. Manday had told her once, "I don't care what they think of you. I care what you think of yourself." She was young, fresh from a business meeting where men, even some she was older than, had dismissed every word she said. One had called her sweetheart. Another had asked if she was taking notes for her boss. She'd come home furious, ready to quit. Manday had sat her down, looked her in the eyes. "You'll face this your whole life," he'd said. "People who decide you're not enough before you even speak, before you even walk in the room, you can let them break you, or you can prove them wrong. Every single time. That sounds exhausting." It is. He'd smiled, sad but proud. "But you're strong enough, stronger than they'll ever be. I know you are." She'd asked him how he knew. "Because you're still here," he'd said. "You're still fighting. That's how I know." Victoria closed, her eyes again. This time, she didn't see Mrs. Choi's face. She saw his. She'd keep fighting. For him. For herself. For the name he'd given her. By the time she landed at JFK, she'd locked it away, sealed it tight. She went straight to her restaurant. The kitchen smelled like garlic and rosemary, real, solid, hers. "You look terrible." Felicity was at the prep station, knife in hand, Victoria's best friend, the only person who knew everything. "I feel terrible." Felicity put down the knife, came around, pulled Victoria into a hug. Victoria stood stiff, then broke. Her shoulders shook once, twice. "They said I was his charity case," Victoria said into Felicity's shoulder. "His widow said he would have been ashamed of me, that I take up too much space." "What?" Felicity pulled back, furious. "That's a lie. All of it. You know that. You built this. Your empire, your life. Manday would have been proud. You know he would have." Victoria's eyes stung. "He taught me to build. To never. Apologise for taking up space. To use both parts of who I am." "Exactly." Felicity's grip tightened. "He gave you the name Soo Yun. But you built Victoria Brown. You're both. That's your power, not theirs. Yours." Victoria nodded. Her throat was tight. She was Choi Soo-yun, the girl Manday raised. She was Victoria Brown, the woman who built an empire in New York, and she didn't need anyone's permission to be either one. "Now go home," Felicity said. "Sleep. You've been travelling for 20 hours. I need to work." "Victoria! Work helps. You know it does." Felicity sighed. She did know. "Fine. But change first. You smell like pain and grief. The memorial. She needed it gone." Next morning. Victoria stood in her office. Brown suit today. Tailored to fit. Off-the-rack suits never worked for her body. The jacket hugged her waist. The skirt fell right over her hips. Manhattan spread out below her windows. Her territory. Her assistant knocked. "The investors are here." "Send them in." 3 men walked in. White, middle-aged, soft around the middle. Here to invest in her Brooklyn project. They sat. Victoria stood. Let them look up at her. "Gentlemen, Ms. Brown." Harrison smiled. Fake. His eyes moved over her, quick, dismissive. She saw it clear as day. Woman, black, curvy. 3 strikes before she even spoke. "We reviewed the proposal," he said. "Very ambitious. It's solid, perhaps." He leaned back, getting comfortable. "But the risk assessment seems optimistic. Are you sure you understand what could go wrong?" There it was. The doubt. The assumption. Victoria didn't blink. "I've built 4 projects this size, all under budget, all ahead of schedule. How many have you built?" Harrison blinked. "Well, we've invested, not built." Victoria pulled up her presentation. The risk assessment covers supply delays, labour shortages, permits, market changes. Here's the data. She walked them through it. Fast. No room for questions. Marcus interrupted. Very detailed. But maybe we should bring in someone with more traditional experience. Someone like who? Someone who's done this before. I've done this 4 times. Victoria's voice dropped. Cold. If you're saying I'm not qualified, say it clearly. Silence around the table. Harrison cleared his throat. We're being cautious. No. You walked in with assumptions. Victoria sat, leaned forward. You invest. I build. You profit. If that doesn't work for you, there's the door. The third investor, Wilson, spoke up. The numbers are good. Better than good. We'd be stupid to walk away. Harrison looked at his papers. The numbers were there, clear, undeniable. We're in, he said quietly. They signed, all 3. Victoria watched them leave. Harrison looked smaller somehow. Wilson nodded respect on his way out. When the door closed, she loosened her tie, breathed out. Every day it was like this. Prove yourself. Again. 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 But she was still here, still standing. That evening, Victoria was in her kitchen, chef's coat on, dinner rush building, orders coming fast. Table 6 wants management. Her waiter said to her. Victoria wiped her hands. What's wrong? They just seem upset. She walked out. Table 6. Couple in their 50s, well-dressed, the type who complained for sport. Good evening. I'm Victoria Brown. I own this restaurant. Is there a problem? The man looked up. His eyes moved over her, slow, judging. She saw it, the surprise, the doubt. You're the owner. Yes. Really? The woman's voice was sharp. She looked Victoria up and down. Her eyes lingered on Victoria's curves, her full figure, taking inventory. You own this place. Here we go again. She'd lost count of how many times she'd seen that look. Is something wrong with your meal? The service is slow. I apologise. We're fully booked tonight, but I'll... Personally, where's the real manager? The man cut her off. Dismissive. Final. Someone who can actually help. I am the manager, Victoria said, steady, even, and the owner. The woman's mouth twisted. Well, times have certainly changed, haven't they? The judgment dripped off every word. Not just that Victoria was black, but she looked like this, thick, taking up space, not fitting their narrow idea of what a successful restaurant owner should look like. The man added, I'm sure there's someone more suitable we could speak with. Be a sweetheart and go get someone. Victoria smiled. Professional. Perfect. Your meals are complimentary. Enjoy your evening. She walked back to the kitchen, each step measured, controlled. Her hands shook. Felicity saw her face. They didn't believe you. Yep. You should throw them out. And prove them right. Victoria shook her head. Her jaw ached from clenching. I take their money. They leave thinking they won. But I actually win. You're stronger than me. No, just tired of fighting the same fight over and over again. But orders kept coming. Victoria kept cooking, kept moving. Work helped. Always did. Service ended at 11. Victoria changed. Felicity was locking up. Go home and get some rest, Felicity said. I will. Liar. Victoria smiled, small, sad. She left through the back. The alley was dark. The street was busy. Normal New York night. For some reason, she felt like walking. The cool air felt good after the hot kitchen. Damn, look at that. Victoria didn't slow. Hey, beautiful. Where are you going? 3 men. Corner ahead. Young. Drunk or high or both. Watching her, Victoria kept walking. Don't be rude. One laughed. We're talking to you. She crossed the street and they followed. Look at all those curves. Come here, baby. Let me appreciate that. Victoria stopped, turned. Buzz away while I'm asking nicely. Oh, she's got attitude. The first one grinned, stepped closer. You always like this. Black women. The second shook his head. Always so angry. And thick like that. The third one's eyes moved over her body, vulgar, entitled. Don't be shy. We like it. Victoria's hands curled into fists, outnumbered, but she wouldn't run, wouldn't show fear. The third man stepped closer, cut off her path, beer on his breath, dead eyes. We're being nice, he said. Why do you got to be difficult? I said leave me alone. Her voice was firm, clear. Or what? The first man moved to her side. They were surrounding her now, closing in. Victoria calculated 3 against 1. Her keys were in her hand. She could use them as a weapon if she had to. She asked you to leave. The voice was deep, calm, final, cut through everything. Victoria turned. A man stepped from a black car parked nearby. Tall, dark suit, sharp face, cold, but his eyes were on the 3 men, dangerous, controlled. Who the hell are you? The first man demanded. His voice shook now. Uncertain. Someone you don't want to know. The stranger didn't raise his voice, didn't need to. Walk away, now, or I promise it won't end well for you. The 3 men looked at each other, looked at him. Whatever, man. They backed off, disappeared into the night. Victoria breathed out. Her heart was still hammering. Her hands were still shaking. The stranger came closer, slow, careful, non-threatening. Are you okay? Walls up immediately, even though she was shaking. I'm fine, thank you. She looked at him properly now, and she thought he was cute. I'm Victoria, Victoria said. Young Rubin. He offered his hand, firm grip, warm, respectful. Can I walk you to your car? Victoria hesitated. Her heart was still racing. She didn't trust easily, didn't let people in. But something about him felt safe, solid. Okay, I would like that. They walked in silence, half a block. Her breathing steadied, the adrenaline faded. She became aware of him next to her, tall, quiet. He didn't stare at her body, didn't make comments, just walked beside her, close enough to protect but giving her space. You live nearby? Rubin asked. I own a restaurant, over there. Victoria pointed. You own Victoria's? Not a question, a statement. He already knew. I've heard about it. You should come by. I will. They reached her car, BMW, nice but not flashy. He stopped a respectful distance back, giving her space. Have lunch with me tomorrow. Victoria blinked. Ask me properly, she said. His mouth curved, just slightly. Victoria, will you have lunch with me tomorrow? She smiled. Yes, I will. That wasn't so hard, was it? She said, and they both laughed. He pulled out his phone. Your number. She rattled it off. He typed it in. Her phone buzzed in her pocket a second later. Now you have mine, he said. He stepped back. Drive safe, Victoria. Then he walked away. Victoria stood there, keys in her hand, watching him go. Her heart was beating fast again, but different now. What just happened? She drove away, her mind racing. For the first time in days, she wasn't thinking about career, about Mrs. Choi, about rejection, about proving herself to people who'd never see her as enough. She was thinking about him, about the man who'd stepped in, who'd looked at her like she was a person, not a body to judge, not a woman to dismiss, about tomorrow, about lunch, about what came next. She smiled despite herself. Victoria woke up thinking about lunch, about seeing him again. Jung Woo Bin. She got up, showered, stood in her closet, navy suit today. Professional, but good. She wanted to look good. Her phone buzzed while she was fixing her tie. A text from Woobin. "Good morning, Victoria. I will see you at Marcello's. 1 p.m. She texted back. "See you there." She put the phone down, looked at herself in the mirror. The navy suit fit right, hugged her waist, showed her curves. She looked good. Her stomach was tight, nervous. That was new. Morning went fast. Calls about permits, contractors, numbers, everything moving forward. But her brain kept going back to him. At 12:45 she left, told her assistant she'd be back by 3. Marcello's was Italian, expensive, midtown. Woobin was already there, corner booth. He looked up when she walked over. His eyes moved over her, not fast, taking his time. He liked what he saw. She could tell. He stood. "Victoria!" "Woobin!" He gestured to the seat. She sat. He sat. A waiter appeared. Woobin ordered wine without asking what she wanted. "Presumptuous," Victoria said. "You'll like it. Trust me." "How do you know?" "I'm good at reading people." The wine came. He poured, slid her glass over. Victoria took a sip. It was good. She didn't tell him that. "Tell me about you," he said. "What do you want to know?" "Where you're from. What you do when you're not running your restaurant." "I grew up in Korea. Came here a few years ago. Started my restaurant. That's it." "That's not it." He leaned back. "You don't build a place like Victoria's in a few years without being smart, driven. What else are you building?" Victoria looked at him. "What makes you think I'm building anything else? The way you carry yourself. I told you I'm good at reading people. You're not just a chef. Maybe I'm just good at my job. Maybe." He didn't believe her. "Or maybe you're more than you're letting on." The waiter came back, took their order. Victoria ordered the pasta. Woobin ordered steak. When the waiter left, Victoria turned it around. "Enough about me. Tell me about you. What do you want to know?" "Everything you're not telling me." He smiled. "That's a long list. I have time. Born in Seoul. Moved here when I was 17. Started working. Built my business. Now I run it." "What kind of business?" "Like things I don't talk about over lunch." He took a drink. "Not yet, anyway. So you have secrets." "Everyone has secrets, Victoria. Even you." "Fair point. The food came. They ate. The conversation shifted. Books, movies, normal things." "You read?" Victoria asked. "When I have time." "You?" "Same." "What do you read?" "History mostly. Biographies. I like learning how people built things, how they survived." Victoria nodded. "I read cookbooks." He laughed. "Of course you do. And business books, strategy, management. For your restaurant, for everything." They finished eating. Woobin paid. Victoria didn't argue. Outside the restaurant, they stood. "Are you married?" Woobin asked. And she laughed. "Don't you think you should have asked that before inviting me out for lunch?" Like they say, better late than never. "And no, I'm not married." "Good to know," he said. They reached her car and Victoria turned to face him. "Thanks for lunch," she said. "You're welcome." They stood there, close. The garage was quiet, just them. Victoria was tired of waiting. She stepped forward, kissed him. But Woobin didn't just stand there. His hands grabbed her waist, pulled her in, kissed her back harder. His hands tightened on her hips, her curves, not careful, not tentative, like he'd been thinking about this since yesterday. Victoria gasped. He took advantage, deepened it, his tongue against hers. He turned them, pushed her back against the car, his body against hers, solid, warm. One hand stayed on her hip, the other slid up her side, over her ribs, feeling her through the suit. Victoria forgot how to think. He pulled back, not far, just enough to look at her. His eyes were dark, pupils blown, Victoria couldn't speak. Her brain wasn't working right. "Have dinner with me on Friday," he said. "My place." She nodded. "Good." He stepped back, put space between them. "I'll text you the address." Then he walked away, didn't wait, didn't look back. Victoria stood there, against her car, trying to remember how to breathe. Her hands were shaking. Her lips felt swollen. He'd done it again, taken control, made her feel like he was running this, and she'd let him. She got in her car, sat there for a minute, started it, drove back to her office. This was dangerous, but she wanted more. The week dragged on. Victoria couldn't focus. Meetings blurred together. She kept checking her phone. On the fateful day at 7:30, she left work, went home, changed, black dress, simple. It hugged everything. Her curves, her hips, her thick thighs. She looked at herself in the mirror. Years of people telling her this body was wrong, too much, not fitting the mould. But yesterday, Woo Bin had grabbed her hips like he wanted more. She smiled, grabbed her bag, left. Her car dropped her at his building, Chelsea, high-rise. The doorman smiled. "Ms. Brown, go on up." The elevator went up. Her stomach was tight, nervous, excited. The doors opened into his apartment. Woo Bin was in the kitchen, black pants, white shirt, cooking something that smelled good. He looked up when she walked in. His eyes moved over her, slow, appreciating every inch. "You look incredible," he said. "Thanks." He put down his knife, came over, stood in front of her. "I'm glad you came," he said. "You didn't really give me a choice." "You always have a choice." His hand touched her face, gentle. "You just keep choosing me." He was right. He kissed her, soft this time, different from the last time, sweeter. When he pulled back, he smiled. "Wine?" "Yeah." "Good. Make yourself comfortable. Food'll be ready in 20 minutes. Victoria walked into the living room, sat on the couch, looked around. The place was nice, expensive but not showy. Good furniture, good art, massive windows with views of the city. This was real money, old money or smart money. One of the two. Woo Bin came over with 2 glasses, handed her one, sat next to her. "Tell me something real," he said. "Like what?" "Something true, not surface stuff, something that matters." Victoria thought about it, took a drink. "I'm tired," she said. "Of what?" "Of proving myself. Every single day, every single room I walk into. People see me and they decide, before I even speak. Woman, black, curvy. They've already made up their minds about who I am, what I can do." Woo Bin was quiet, listening. "And I'm tired of fighting that," Victoria continued. "Tired of having to be twice as good to get half the respect. Tired of being judged for my body, for my face, for existing." "That sounds exhausting," Woo Bin said. "It is." He reached out, took her hand. "For what it's worth, when I look at you, I don't see any of that." "What do you see?" "I see someone who built something from nothing, someone who doesn't back down, someone who's smart and strong and beautiful." Victoria's throat got tight. "You barely know me." He squeezed her hand. "Then let me know more." They sat there, quiet. The city spread out below them, lights everywhere. "Your turn," Victoria said. "Something real." Woo Bin took a drink, looked at his glass. "I'm lonely," he said finally, simple, honest. "I have people around me all the time, people who work for me, people who want things from me, but no one who just sees me and not what I can do for them, not what I represent, just me. That does sound lonely." "It is." He looked at her. "Until now, maybe." Victoria's chest felt warm, but also scared. This was moving fast. The timer went off in the kitchen. "Food's ready," Woo Bin said. He stood, held out his hand. She took it, let him pull her up. They ate at his dining table. Korean food. It was good, really good. You can cook, Victoria said. My mother taught me before she died. How old were you? 16. He took a bite. Cancer. Happened fast. I'm sorry. It was a long time ago. He looked at her. What about your parents? Victoria's jaw tightened. Dead. Both of them. How? Complicated. She didn't want to talk about it. Not yet. Woo Bin nodded, didn't push. They finished eating, moved back to the couch. Victoria's phone rang. She looked at the screen. Her manager. I'm sorry, I have to take this, she said. It's all right. She walked to the window, answered. What? Boss, inspector's back, says he needs triple what we discussed or he shuts us down. Victoria's voice changed, dropped, cold, hard. Put him on. Pause. New voice. Ms. Brown, we had an agreement. I changed my mind. This is a big project. I need more compensation. Listen carefully, Victoria said, ice in every word. You take what we agreed, or you walk away with nothing. And if you try to shut me down, I will teach you a lesson you won't forget in a hurry. Are we clear? Silence. Clear, he said, quiet, scared. Good. We're done. She hung up, turned around. Woo Bin was watching. That didn't sound like restaurant business, he said. Victoria's walls went up fast. It's complicated. I bet. He stood, walked over. You run more than a restaurant, don't you? She didn't answer. It's okay, he said. I'm not judging. Aren't you? No. He smiled. Because I'm not exactly legitimate either. Victoria looked at him. What do you mean? My business is real, but it's not all I do. I move money. I have connections. I solve problems for people. Some of it's legal. Some of it isn't. He said it calm, like it was just fact. No shame. No apology. So, you're a criminal, Victoria said. Depends who you ask. He moved closer. What about you? What do you really do? Victoria took a breath. This was it. I have real estate, developments all over the city, millions invested, dozens of employees. It's not all on the books. So you're a criminal too. Depends who you ask. He laughed. We're a pair. Then he kissed her, his hands on her hips, pulling her close. Victoria kissed him back, hard, desperate, wanting. When they broke apart, they were both breathing hard. His hands slid down, over her hips, her thighs, her curves. I've been thinking about this body since I laid eyes on you, he said. Yeah. He pulled her closer. You're beautiful, every inch of you. Victoria's breath caught. No one had ever said that to her, not like this, not meaning it. He didn't lead her to the bedroom. Instead, he pulled her down on the couch, kissed her again, slower this time. His hands moved over her, not rushed, taking his time, learning her body, her curves, what made her gasp. Woo Bin, she said against his mouth. This is happening fast. He pulled back, looked at her. You want to slow down? Did she? No, Victoria said. He smiled, kissed her again. They stayed on the couch, kissing, touching, not going further. Just this. When Victoria finally left, her lips were swollen. Her body was warm. Her mind was quiet. In the car going home, she smiled. She was falling for him, fast, maybe too fast, but she didn't care. Hey friends, before we continue, I need to say something real quick. Hold on, friends. Before we see what happens next, I need to know something. Have you ever been told by your own family that you're not good enough, that you don't belong? If that hits, if Victoria standing at that funeral hearing she was never really family feels too real right now, go ahead and hit that like button. Because these stories, they're for us, for the women who've been called too black, too thick, too bold, for the ones whose own families looked at them and said, you're not one of us. I need to know you're out there. that you need to see Victoria build an empire from nothing, that you need to see her refuse to shrink herself no matter who rejected her. So smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, turn on notifications. Because what's about to happen when she meets someone who sees her power, when a dangerous man looks at her and sees exactly what she is? You're not ready. Now back to the story. A week passed, then two. Victoria and Rubin fell into a rhythm. Her place, his place. Late dinners, early mornings. She'd wake up in his bed, his arm around her waist, his hand on her hip, her curves fitting against him. He'd pull her closer, kiss her shoulder, his hand sliding over her body, her thick thighs, her hips. "You're beautiful," he'd say, and she'd believe him. They hadn't slept together yet, not fully, but close, getting closer every night. Victoria had never felt like this before, wanted, seen. It scared her, but she didn't want to stop. Tuesday morning, Victoria's assistant knocked on her office door. "Ms. Brown, you have an invitation. Major development meeting Thursday evening. All the key players in New York will be there." Victoria looked at the invitation. High level, waterfront project negotiation, territory splits, big money, huge stakes. Every major developer and investor in New York would be there. She had to go. That night at Rubin's place, they were in his kitchen. He was cooking. She was sitting on the counter watching him work. "I can't see you Thursday," Victoria said. "Why not?" "Business meeting. Important one." "What kind of meeting?" "Nothing important. Restaurant stuff." She didn't want to explain more, didn't want to mix business with this. Rubin nodded, didn't push. "Friday then." Friday. He came over, stood between her legs where she sat on the counter, his hands on her thighs. "This is real, right?" Victoria asked. The question had been sitting in her chest for days. "What we are doing?" He looked at her. "Yeah, it's real." "Good." He kissed her. She wrapped her legs around him, pulled him closer. "Rubin," she said against his mouth. "Yeah? I'm glad I met you." He smiled. "Me too." Thursday came. Victoria stood in her closet for 10 minutes deciding. This meeting mattered. Every major player would be there. She needed to look powerful, untouchable. Brown suit, perfectly tailored to fit her curves, her full figure. The jacket hugged her waist. The skirt fell right over her hips. She looked at herself in the mirror, ready. Her car took her to Midtown, high-rise building, glass and steel, the kind where million-dollar deals happened every day. She took the elevator to the top floor, conference room, massive table, leather chairs, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Manhattan. The conference room was filling up when Victoria walked in. Men in suits, talking, laughing. Nobody had sat down yet. She was the only woman here. Victoria walked to the table, took a seat in the middle. A man across from her was on his phone. He looked up. His face changed. Older guy, white, silver hair. He stared at her. His eyes went from her face down to her body, her curves, her hips in the chair, then back up, then leaned to the man next to him, said something quiet. They both looked at Victoria. She heard him say, "Certainly made an impression." The other man laughed. Victoria pulled out her tablet, opened her notes. Her hands were steady, for now. More men came in, still standing around, talking. The meeting hadn't started. The older man walked over, stopped next to Victoria's chair. "Excuse me," he said. "Maxwell Grant." Victoria looked up. "Victoria Brown." His eyes travelled over her again, lingered on her chest, her hips. "Interesting. Are you sure you're in the right meeting? This is the waterfront project. High-level investors only." "I'm in the right meeting. It's just, well," he smiled. not friendly. This isn't exactly your typical boardroom, if you know what I mean. Very traditional crowd, old school. I'd hate for you to feel uncomfortable. I'm comfortable. Are you? Because frankly, you stand out quite a bit. His eyes went to her body again. In more ways than one. Victoria's jaw tightened. She didn't respond. Maxwell went back to his seat, but he kept talking to the men around him, loud enough for her to hear. Standards have certainly changed, he said. When I started, you had to really earn your seat. Now. He glanced at Victoria. Well, different priorities, I suppose. Another man laughed. The project manager walked in, started setting up. Just waiting on Mr. Young, he said. We'll start soon. Maxwell stood up, addressed the whole room. Before we begin, I want to address something. This is a huge project for everyone involved. Serious business. I think we need to ensure everyone at this table has appropriate credentials. He looked directly at Victoria. No offence to anyone, but this isn't about checking boxes. This is about proven track records, real experience, not diversity quotas. Some men shifted uncomfortably. I'm just saying, Maxwell continued, that sometimes in today's climate, people get opportunities they haven't quite earned, and I'd hate for this project to suffer because we were trying to be politically correct. Victoria set down her pen, her fingers pressed flat against the table. Are you talking about me? I'm talking about standards, Maxwell said, but since you ask, yes, I am concerned, and frankly, his eyes went over her body again, slow, deliberate. You don't exactly fit the profile of our typical investor. What profile is that? Professional, established, someone who takes the business seriously. He smiled. Not someone who looks like they're playing dress-up in a suit that's, well, clearly straining. Maybe if you spent less time at buffets and more time studying actual development, you'd understand what we do here. Someone gasped. Victoria's face went hot. Her heart was pounding, but she kept her voice level. Excuse me. I'm just being honest. This is a professional environment. Image matters. Credibility matters. And when someone walks in here looking like... He gestured at her. That. It raises questions about judgment, about seriousness, about self-control. About what exactly? About whether you're here because of merit or because someone felt obligated to include you. The black woman card only gets you so far. Eventually you have to actually know what you're doing. The room went silent. Victoria's hands were shaking now. She pressed them harder against the table, made fists under it where no one could see. Maxwell continued, in my experience, people who can't even manage their own physical presentation tend to struggle with managing multi-million-dollar projects. Just an observation. Victoria stood up, slowly. Her legs felt unsteady, but she didn't let it show. Let me make something very clear to everyone here, she said. Her voice was ice. I built my company from nothing. My body has nothing to do with my business credentials. Doesn't it, though? Maxwell smiled, because credibility is about the total package. And when you walk into a room looking like you just left a club, wearing clothes that barely contain you, it's hard to take you seriously. You're talking about my body, my race. You looked at a black woman with curves and decided I don't belong here. Maxwell's smile got wider. Well, you do make quite an entrance. Hard not to notice all that presence. Takes up quite a bit of space, doesn't it? A few men laughed. Victoria's breathing was shallow, her chest tight, but her voice came out clear, strong. You know what's interesting, Mr. Grant, she said, cold, sharp. Your so-called company lost $15 million last quarter, 3 failed projects in 2 years. Your investors are leaving. Your board is discussing removal. Maxwell's smile dropped. But please, Victoria continued, her voice getting stronger. Keep telling me about professionalism. Keep telling me about self-control. Keep telling me I don't belong here, while your company burns and mine grows, while you're desperate for this deal to save your ass, and I'm here because I earned it. She leaned forward, hands flat on the table again, steady now. I own more property in this city than you'll ever touch. My profit margins exceed yours by 30%. You're sitting at this table because of your last name. I'm sitting here because I built every single inch of what I have. She looked around the room, met every eye. Anyone else want to comment on my body, my skin, whether I belong at this table? Go ahead. Nobody spoke. Good. Victoria sat back down. Let's get started. Maxwell's face was purple, humiliated, destroyed. The door opened. Young Rubin walked in. Everything stopped. Victoria's entire body went cold, then hot, then cold again. No. Their eyes met across the room. Rubin froze, mid-step. His face went completely blank. Mr. Young? The project manager said, standing, smiling. Thank you for joining us. Please, have a seat. Rubin didn't move, just stood there, staring at Victoria. Then slowly, like moving, through water, he walked to the table, took a seat, 3 chairs down from her. Victoria couldn't breathe. Her lungs had stopped working. Her brain was screaming. What was he doing here? The meeting continued. Voices talking about zones and percentages and profit splits, but Victoria couldn't hear any of it, just white noise. She glanced at Rubin. He was staring straight ahead. His jaw was tight, a muscle twitching. Someone asked her a question. She answered. Automatic, professional. But she didn't know what she said. Rubin, here, at this table. Which meant he wasn't just connections, wasn't just moving money in grey areas. He was major, top level, a real player, same as her. He'd lied, let her believe he was something smaller, something different. The meeting dragged on forever. Discussions about who controlled what territory, who got what percentage, investment structures. Victoria participated when she had to. So did Rubin. Both of them professional. Both of them cold. Neither looking at each other. Everyone at the table treated them both with respect. Deference even. These weren't small players. These were equals. Powers. Finally, after what felt like years, it ended. People stood, started filing out, shaking hands, making side conversations. Victoria grabbed her bag, headed for the door fast. Victoria! His voice. She stopped, didn't turn around. We need to talk, Rubin said. Not here. Then where? My place. She walked out, didn't look back. Victoria got home, paced her apartment. Her mind was racing, spinning out. Rubin, at that meeting, with those people. Maxwell Grant had been scared of him. Everyone had. The doorbell rang, hard, angry knocking. Victoria opened it. Rubin stood there, still in his suit. His face was stone, hard, furious. They stared at each other. Rubin pushed past her, into her apartment, turned on her. You lied to me, he said. His voice was hard, angry, cold. You lied to me. I told you I had business. I said I moved money. I didn't lie. You let me believe you were smaller than you are. So did you. He stepped closer. You didn't tell me you run half of Brooklyn, that you're on every major developer's radar, that you're one of the biggest players in this city. You didn't tell me you control the ports, that politicians are scared of you. They were both angry now, really angry. I trusted you, Victoria said. Her voice shook. She hated that it shook. I let you in. I told you things I've never told anyone about my father, about Korea, about everything, and the whole time you were lying to my face. I wasn't lying. You weren't telling the truth. Neither were you. Rubin's jaw was tight. You played me, made me think you were just a restaurant owner with some side investments. Small time. I never said I was small time. You let me believe it. They were close now, both furious, both hurt. Why? Victoria asked. Her voice cracked. She hated that too. Why didn't you just tell me? I could say the same thing as well. Why didn't you tell me? He fired back. Because... Victoria stopped, swallowed hard. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe because I wanted to be just Victoria with you, not Victoria, the boss lady. Rubin's face changed. The anger softened just slightly. They stared at each other. The anger was still there. But under it was something else. Pain, hurt, betrayal. So what now? Victoria asked. I don't know. We can't just pretend this didn't happen. No, we can't. Rubin walked to her window, looked out at the city spread below. You saw me today, he said, his back to her. At that table, you know what I am now, what I really am. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out if you played me this whole time, if this was all some strategy. He turned. Did you play me? No. Then I didn't play you either. He came back toward her. I didn't know who you were. Not until I walked into that room today and saw you sitting there. But you suspected something. Maybe. Yeah. He ran his hand through his hair, frustrated. The phone calls, the way you talked sometimes. Your voice would change. But I didn't know. Not for sure. Victoria wanted to not believe him, wanted to stay angry. But she did believe him. We're competitors, she said. Yeah, your ports, my shipping expansion, that's direct conflict. I know. My Brooklyn developments, your territory interests, that's conflict too. I know that too. They looked at each other across her living room. I should tell you to leave, Victoria said. Probably. I should end this now, before it gets messier. Rubin moved closer. Slowly. Do you want me to leave? Victoria looked at him. This man. This powerful, dangerous man who'd lied to her, who she'd lied to. No, she said. Good. He reached out, touched her face. Gentle. Because I don't want to go. We can't do this. We're competitors. We'll end up destroying each other. Maybe. His thumb traced her jaw. Or maybe we figure something else out. Like what? I don't know yet. He moved closer, but walking away doesn't feel right either. This is insane. Yeah. They were inches apart now. I watched you at that table, Rubin said. His voice dropped. Seeing your power, knowing you're real, knowing you're this. He shook his head. I've never wanted anyone more. Victoria's breath caught. That's twisted, I know. He smiled, just barely. But it's true. She kissed him, hard, angry, wanting, all of it mixed together. He kissed her back, his hands on her hips, her curves, gripping tight, pulling her against him. They broke apart, both breathing hard. This doesn't solve anything, Victoria said. I know. We still have to figure out the business, the territories. I know that too. So, what do we do? Rubin looked at her, really looked. We try to be partners. We figure out if we can make this work, and if we can't, then we deal with that when it happens. Victoria studied his face, his eyes, looking for lies, for games. She didn't see any. Partners? She asked. Partners, he said, firm. She nodded slowly. Okay, let's try. Yeah. He kissed her again, softer this time. They moved to her bedroom, slow, neither rushing. He undressed her, she undressed him. When they came together, it felt different, real, no secrets between them now. Everything out in the open. His hands moved over her body, her curves, her hips, her thick thighs, taking his time. You're incredible, he said. So are you. After, They lay tangled together, the city lights coming through her windows. What happens now? Victoria asked. Now we figure out how to make this work, how to run our businesses without destroying each other. Think we can. I don't know. He pulled her closer. But I want to try. Victoria looked at him. This dangerous man. Her equal. She didn't say she loved him. That felt too fast. Too much after everything. But she felt something. Something big. Something that scared her. Get some sleep, Wu Bin said. Okay. She closed her eyes, his arm around her, his hand on her hip. Tomorrow they'd figure out the details, the territories, the business, how two major players could be together without destroying everything they'd built. Tonight, this was enough. The next few days were tense. Victoria and Wu Bin met at a neutral office downtown, his lawyer, her lawyer, just the four of them around a conference table, maps spread out, property lists, territory breakdowns. They stared at each other. The lawyers shifted in their seats, uncomfortable. Back and forth they went, sometimes arguing, sometimes finding middle ground fast. Hours passed, the sun moved across the windows, they ordered food. Kept working, territory by territory, conflict by conflict, finding solutions. A week passed, then another. Everything was running smooth, their businesses merging better than expected. No major conflicts, just growth. Victoria was at her restaurant one evening, Thursday night. Busy service, kitchen running hot. Salmon to table 8, she called out. Yes, chef. Orders coming in fast. She was in her rhythm. This was where she belonged. In the kitchen, creating, controlling. The door swung open. Felicity walked in. Her face was strange, uncertain. Vic, you have visitors. Tell them I'm busy. Victoria didn't look up, plating a dish. They say they're family. Victoria's hand stopped. What? From Korea? The plate almost slipped. Victoria caught it, set it down carefully. Family? From Korea? No. She took off her apron, wiped her hands, walked out of the kitchen. The dining room was half full, customers eating, talking. Normal Thursday night. Near the front entrance, 3 people sat waiting. Victoria stopped cold. Mrs. Choi, Jinwoo and her aunt. Here, in New York, in her restaurant. They looked different, smaller. Their clothes were nice, but not expensive like before. Mrs. Choi looked older. Lines around her eyes, grey in her hair that wasn't there at the funeral. Victoria's whole body went cold, then hot. Her hands started shaking. Mrs. Choi saw her. Soo-yun. That name, like a knife. Victoria walked over. Her face was stone, hard. What are you doing here? Jinwoo stepped forward. We need to talk. Please, just 5 minutes. How did you find me? Business records. Victoria's jaw clenched so hard it hurt. You need to leave. Now. Please, Mrs. Choi said. Her voice cracked. Soo-yun, please, just 5 minutes. You have nothing to say that I want to hear. We came all the way from Korea. I don't care. Victoria's voice was ice. You made it clear I wasn't family, so leave. Customers were starting to notice, staring. Mrs. Choi saw it. Please, not here, somewhere private. Victoria wanted to say no, wanted to throw them out, but people were watching. Her restaurant, her reputation. 5 minutes, Victoria said. Back room. Then you leave and never come back. She led them through the restaurant, past tables, past curious stairs, into the private dining room in back, closed the door, pointed to chairs. Sit! They sat. Victoria stayed standing, arms crossed, guard up. Talk, she said. Mrs. Choi looked at Jinwoo. He looked at the aunt. No one wanted to start. So, you tracked me down. Why? Silence. Why are you here? Victoria's voice was hard, demanding. We need your help. Mrs. Choi said quietly, looking at her hands. Victoria laughed. It came out bitter, sharp. My help! That's incredible. Soo-yeon! Stop! Victoria's voice cracked like a whip. Stop calling me that name. You took it away. Remember, you said I wasn't a Choi, that I wasn't a true Korean. Never was. Never would be. So don't use that name now. Mrs. Choi flinched like she'd been hit. What happened? Victoria asked, even though she already knew. Let me guess. You burned through his money. Jin-woo shifted in his seat, uncomfortable. We made some bad investments. How bad? Bad, the aunt said. The businesses failed. Everything failed. Everything. Victoria's voice was cold, showing nothing. We lost the house, the company, the accounts, all of it, Jin-woo admitted.